Psalms 83:1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur is also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Selah. This is the United Nations, which is headed up by Esau, Edom. And these people are confederate against you, against the people of the Lord, which make up the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and of course those that are of those same said groups that are scattered among the heathen nations around the world that look like the heathen nations, but the seed line has survived. I'm going to play another quick video just to show you the hatred that they have for our people with unrighteous decrees and how the Lord's going to turn it all on them. And this video rings home with me personally because I know what it's like to in a court of law to prove yourself innocent of something. But when they're in the interest of protecting billion-dollar businesses, corrupt businesses, your case gets ignored, all right, or your lawsuit gets ignored. That it makes it all the way to the highest court, even to the federal court, to the highest court in the country, and then they just sit on your case for years, all right, for years, because it's too big of a financial hit to judge your case, because you've proven the corruption and and what's wrong with the system. All right. So let's let a couple heathen talk about it. All right. Well, at least in appearance, because you never know, they could be speckled birds. But here we go.
Breaking news, the U.S. Supreme Court has just issued one of the most horrific and dystopian rulings in history. The Supreme Court has ruled to gut a lifeline for prisoners who were wrongfully convicted, even when new evidence shows that they were innocent of the crime they were convicted of. Ruling 6-3, the right-wing Supreme Court said that new evidence that was previously not admitted due to ineffective legal counsel cannot be used to exonerate anyone. This means that even if a prisoner or an inmate can prove that they were completely innocent and had no fault for their conviction, tough luck. And the theory used to uphold this barbaric ruling is the same theory used to uphold slavery, states' rights. Per Justice Thomas, states apparently have a right to execute people even when they are innocent. Since 1972, over 1,500 Americans have been executed, and 187 of them were later exonerated. Wow. Disproportionately black and brown, 11% of all people America has executed were innocent the whole time. This is your pro-life Supreme Court. Breaking news, the U.S. Supreme Court has just issued...
Yeah. Like I said, when you're protecting the interests of billion-dollar business, you know, they don't give a care. They don't give a damn about what your evidence and your proof and what's right. So these people, even though they were able to prove themselves innocent, in a lot of cases, they were still put to death. And there's a lot of innocent people that are locked up in prisons. A lot of them, unfortunately. A lot of them. But this is the devil that we're dealing with. In the name of financial interest, they will forfeit your life or your rights. All right, I don't know which is worse. You know, getting put to death is actually more merciful than keeping a person locked up for their entire life. All right, it would be better to just die than to live in a small cage, you know, for your entire existence. That is beyond cruel. These are the people that we're talking about, all in the name of profit, because they could give a damn about the evidence to prove that you were innocent. What was more important to them was their stockholders, because the private prison industry makes a lot of money. All right, there's money. They need to keep those cells filled, so they have to keep writing laws and legislations that make it easy to railroad people to jail. And the people that they've chosen, given the task of filling up those cells, are so-called black and brown people. All right, even though the opioid situation is turning that around, it's way more pale people in there than it was before. Curses are reversing. But let's play some of this video and just continue to put, these Edomites and these wicked heathen on blast.
Of Quadri Sanders now speaks out about the officers who have been charged in the killing of his son. Put up these cops, all right? Okay?
There's always a Kuna-like.
Let me take you to the body footage to remind you of what happened.
Now be prepared. I could clearly see, even though this young man acted very foolishly, he panicked, but you could also see that his hands were empty. He had nothing on him. What he should have just done was got down on his hands and knees and put his hands behind his head and just waited for them to. He shouldn't have been, but nevertheless, because then it would have been harder to justify, even though they still got put, being put on trial. But being put on trial, because these are the two cops in there, their pictures being taken, but they look confident that they're going to get exonerated, get their badges back, and they probably have a GoFundMe set up for them already as well. All right, and then they'll be labeled heroes.
Stay inside. Bro, go back in the house. Hands down.
Okay, you saw. Now this was what he did. He shouldn't have disappeared behind the refrigerator. He only went there for a second, but you saw that all he had in his head. He put one hat. He took a hat off his head and took his hat from his right hand to his left hand. So all he has in his hands is his hat. I saw that clear as day. All right? I saw that clear as day. So I would not have pulled my trigger. All right? His hands went up and they shot him. His hands went up in surrender mode and they shot him. Okay? His hands went up and they shot him. He's screaming in pain. You've been shot and he's screaming hands. Your injuries could even possibly prevent you from raising your hands. These men are demented demons and are wicked and deserve to be put to death. They deserve to be put to death. They shouldn't even have, the prison sentence should be very short. He's still raising his hands and they're firing on him. He's afraid and pain and been shot. I mean, this may as well been some ops, some gangbangers. Because clearly there's nothing that he can do to get mercy from these two police officers. To just simply get arrested.
Quit reaching! Quit reaching! Stay down! Roll over! Hey. Roll over! I'm down. Roll over! Roll over!
Those cops are killers. They've been charged. The father has now spoken out. We come.
Let's go to the scriptures.
One of the most horrific.
Let's go to the scriptures. And you still got Coonalites that want to make it in America, that think that this place is okay. All right. This is Psalm 73:8, and it says, "They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression." All right. And also now while I'm thinking about it, let me it's not there. Slovakia, not there. There we go. Just want to read this real quick and state it. This is a copyright disclaimer under Section 107 Copyright Act. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, scholarship, research, fair use in the use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing, non-profit, educational, or personal use, tips, balances in favor of fair use. All right, because I don't own this footage. I'm not profiting from it. I'm using it for the purposes stated. All right, let's get that out the way. Yeah, because E will look for any excuse to delete, cancel information. All right. But I'm going to show you another story to show you how there's two sets of laws here in America. Now, don't be shocked if the pale cop gets off and the black cop takes the so-called the brown man. He's not black at all. Like even this guy on the screen, he's brown, visibly, physically brown, but yet they will call him black. And in a lot of cases, he'll call himself black too, just to show you how ignorant our people are. But that's the doing of the so-called white man. He's the one that came up with those social constructs to anything to prevent, to keep you from being called an Israelite. All right. But let's let this short video, it's only a few seconds long. All right.
This kid was just videoed waving a firearm at a school bus. So in the video, the kid pulls a firearm out of his pocket and waves it at a school bus with his finger on the trigger. And while all this happens, a man who is assumed to be the kid's father just stands and watches. Now, so far, it doesn't seem like any media has reported on this story. So I couldn't find out if the kid got in any kind of trouble for doing this. So as of right now, this kid could be planning a school tragedy and nothing is being done about it. Now, this allegedly happened in Lakewood, New Jersey, so if anyone knows this kid or knows anything about this, please let me know. This kid was
so the fact that video is surfacing, that imagery is surfacing, and that happened and was witnessed by the children on the bus, this kid should already been snatched up. The man that's with him should be snatched up and all should be brought in for questioning. And and all should be brought in for questioning to find out what's going on. All right, because I can almost guarantee you that if that were a so-called black or brown person, all right, or a person from a country that that's not on the so friendly to America list, they will be caught up right about now. All right, let's wrap this up with one more scripture. This is Psalm 73:5, and it reads, "They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men." All right, so they've been getting away with all this wickedness and devilment for all this time. Esau, Edom. But the beauty of it is that those days are over. All right, you are witnessing the fall and the punishment of the so-called white man. Call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Awashai Ba'Hashem Rakak Badash Wa Abba Babal Kwam Yasharala Shalom.